What's up, Honda people? This is my 1991 Honda Civic Wagon RT. I purchased in 2014 for a very good price. I found it in Craigslist for $500. All the full rate components was present and no missing parts, but the seller has been parked on his yard since 1997. So I replaced the engine and I fixed other things. After I driving automatic, I swapped the 5-speed manual, but I took the 4-wheel drive components to service. I've been driving front-wheel drive for 5 months since the replacement parts are hard to find. So after that, I want to share how I put all the 4-wheel drive components back. These are all tools required to install the 4-wheel drive components. For example, we need jack stand, a piece of block to raise a little bit more the rear end since I have a low profile jack, a wheel chuck, as I need to raise the rear wheels. As you guys know, they have the parking brake. I use the wheel chuck in the front tire to secure the car for safety reason. Because we're going to work under the car, extra precaution is highly recommended. And we need the common Honda sockets as 12, 14, 17, 19, and the 32 for the rear axle nut, a pliers, and a flathead screwdriver. On this side we have the 4-wheel drive parts. Now it's front wheel drive. This has a little hole to hold the rear axle into the place, and also the driveshaft as well is already serviced. Okay guys, the first step is use mallet to chock the front tires, and now I'm gonna use this jack to install right on the rear. When the car is raised, we have to use the jack stands. As you guys can see, the Wagon RT is a little higher from factory. I need to lift a little bit more because I have no room to work underneath. I have to install the driveshaft. Actually, I have no room. That is why I have to use that piece of wheel block to lift an extra inches and set the jack stand a bit more higher. I gotta need this wheel block on top of the jack to get a couple inches higher. The jack stand actually are holding the car. Release the pressure and install the wheel block on top of the jack. That's what I'm talking about. As you guys can see, we have better room to work underneath. It's time to take the wheel off. Use the 19 socket and the impact wrench. Wow, look at that. And here is, guys, my front wheel drive trailing arms on 4-wheel drive wagon. And now I'm gonna take the caliper off, the parking brake out, and also it's something that the people don't know. This bracket is from Honda Civic 2009 EX model. All you guys have to know, this caliper fit on wagon trailing arms. All you guys need to know is just re-drill 3/8 on this side of the hole, because the Honda Civic 2006 to 2011 has a little notch, and the Acura Integra 90 and 90 to 93 is round.
And also we need to use a grinder to cut a small portion on this side of this little bracket and cut a little notch on this side. Also, I use the Acura Integra 91 brake line and the bracket. I cut with my grinder. I use the stock location bolt and I use my drill to make another hole to install this hose. It's going nowhere.
So let's start the procedure. And here is guy. This is the 8th generation Honda Civic parking cable bracket with some customizations and also retreat to 3/8.
The caliper is out, the parking brake is out. All we need to do is take these 14 bolts, the upper and the lower, at the front of the trailing arm, and the 217 on this side. Is pretty much all we need to do to take the whole trailing arm out and put the four-wheel drive in. Okay guys, the trailing arm is out. I'm gonna show you which is the difference between those. The first, you can guys see it has no hole. The trailing arm is pretty much the same, just the difference is it has the bearing like the old style Acura's and Honda's. Is bolt with a big nut here, and the bearing is sitting inside of this little cup, and the hub has two holes to sit the rotor with the two screws, and the four-wheel drive one doesn't have that, and it has the hole to sit the axle. I prepped everything, sand it down. I used a rotary brush to remove all the rust and paint with some epoxy paint, and the caliper adapter sits exactly like the old one. Of course, this is much better trailing arm bushing than the stock one. I'm gonna upgrade soon. And also, I had to notch the trailing arm. I had to cut a small portion like this to this side. Okay guys, this is the major difference between the four-wheel drive and the front-wheel drive trailing arms. For example, the front-wheel drive has the nut. It has no hole to allow the axle, and the four-wheel drive has that little hole. And also, this has not the bolts to screw and keep it on the place the rotor as the front-wheel drive. And also, I had to do a little notch like this to my new ones, because when I install the brackets, the caliper, it will interference this little side. I had to cut with my grinder
So hopefully this video is helpful. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribe for more Honda videos later.